Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. I'm brand new to all this. I've watched a whole bunch of videos on the whole living in a car, van, whatever. But I'm brand new to actually talking about it. The main reason that I decided to do this video is, quite honestly, out of all the videos I've watched, it shows how to make the videos. It shows, you know, how to make a bed, how to cook, where to do your business. It shows all kinds of stuff. But there's one thing that no video so far has talked about, and that is addressing. Yeah, there are some videos out there that talk about, oh yeah, use a mail drop or whatever. But, you know, something like that. Whatever. The thing is, and I know from personal experience, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but I will say this from personal experience. I know that none of that it's not, first off, using a mail drop is not legal. If you get pulled over, the officer's going to know as soon as he runs your information. He's going to know it's not right. Number two, if, and a lot of people don't realize this and don't know it, that this is one of the reasons I decided to make the video, because it's just, a lot of people don't realize that living in a car, living in a van, whatever, and not having especially for people that live in cars or vans all the time and don't have a house to go back to or don't have someplace they can go. It's really important for those people. It's really important. For those people that do have a place to go back to, that's fine. You can prove you live there. You either own the property, you rent, whatever. You got a lease agreement, you can prove it. It's not that hard. But for people that are doing it full time, one of the things that people don't know and don't realize, as I just now stated, is that one, it's not legal. And a lot of people don't realize the kind of trouble that they can get into. Not that it's going to change anything. There's a lot of people that are out there living in their cars or vans or whatever because of circumstances that they have no control over. So, anyway, this video is not about me bashing people for living in their cars, living in their vans, whatever. I've been traveling for 12 years, and off and on, I've stayed in my car. In fact, I've stayed in pretty much just resided in my car for weeks, months at a time sometimes. And then I'll go, go home or go to my boyfriend's or, go to whatever I choose to do. But I do have someplace that I can stay. Now, a few years ago, after I left my ex-husband, I didn't. My house that I own, or rather I inherited from my dad when he passed, was occupied with renters, so I couldn't go there. And anyway, long story short, my problems all started with an ex-boyfriend. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, the whole point is that, one, obtaining a driver's license without having a permanent address, if you renew your driver's license and use the last address that you resided at, you can be charged with obtaining property by false pretenses, which is a felony. A lot of people don't know this. Anyway, it's a felony. You could also be charged with driver's license fraud, along with being charged with, if you have to inspect or tag your vehicle, which most states do require you to tag your at least tag it every year, you can again be charged with even more charges because you tagged your vehicle. So The list is in, the list is, and that's kind of up to the to what they decide they want to hang on you really is kind of up to the discretion of the officer. Now, a lot of people may think that this is, they can't really do anything. Yes, they can do something, but it does require someone to get the ball rolling. All it requires is someone in the law enforcement community to start sniffing around and, checking you out. Another way that they can find out is if someone that you know, and that could be anybody, it could be a friend, a neighbor, a family member, someone you've done business with, anyone that you've had contact with, even online, someone you've had contact with that chooses to report it to your state's DMV. It's actually, in my state, DMV license and theft. And that's what they call it. If you use the same address that you used that was on your driver's license from, say, I don't know, when you had a place to live or you did reside at that address, and you go in and you tell the person, when you renew your driver's license, if you tell the person behind the desk that address is correct, or you don't inform them that that's no longer correct, unfortunately, if you tell them that you're living in your vehicle, you're not going to get a driver's license. It's also unfortunate that the powers that be, the government, Big Brother, they don't want anyone living on the road or living anywhere. They want people living in a house where they can be tracked, monitored. They know where they are. And by the way, I'm not some conspiracy theorist, but that's the bottom line. And if most people should know that the government and the powers that be want you somewhere where they know where you are. It's that simple. Anyway, the main reason I wanted to make this video, and I actually wanted to make a video and introduce myself first, tell everybody, because I'm brand new. I've been blogging for years, but I've never actually done the whole video thing. I write it down, I take pictures, but I don't I don't make a video about it. And this is kind of a rough video because I wanted to do a video where actually a little bit better video out here. I'm out here outside of a Dollar Tree. In Georgia. I actually wanted to make a video that's a little better, and I need, I guess, something and where I look a little better, but something where it's, a little, I don't know, just better. But, and where I'm kind of following a little bit of an outline. I have, a few bullet points of what I want to do, what I want to say, but I just decided this was it. I was sitting here and I said, this is it. I want to, and my video, and by the way, I'm not interested in, at least not right now, showing people how, how I live, how I sleep, when I'm in my car, how I sleep, all that. I'll go into that later. But I wanted to get this out and just let everyone know that this is something a lot of people don't and aren't familiar with. And it's in every state. It's in every state that you go to. I don't care what state you're in, you're going to have this issue. So anyway, I think that's about it. I don't want to make this a really, really extremely long video. I just want to inform everybody or anyone who wants to watch the video, or at least put it out there, that you need to be mindful. I mean, number one, and this is these are the recommendations on the internet. Find a family member that will allow you to use their address. That's the most obvious one. That's obvious. Or a friend or someone. If you never need to show proof, that might be a little more difficult. But at least, you got someone, if you can use a family member's address or a friend or something, at least if something ever does come down the pipe, at least they can say, yeah, you know, they can use my address, whatever. Or when they come back to town, this is where they stay. This is where they live for however long it is that they're back home back here. But just using these mail drops and all that stuff, that's really not going to cut it. I mean, a lot of people think it does, and a lot of people think it will, but it really won't. At least it won't in a lot of states. I mean, states where the law enforcement officers actually can look up the actual place you're living, and most of them probably can, they're going to know that that's not an actual residence. So, that's a ticket right there at the very least. And people that are living in their cars, I would say probably don't have the money to pay a $200 ticket. Anyway, as far as, and this applies to, and I'm going to say right off the bat, this applies to pretty much anyone living in whatever kind of vehicle that they are living in. It can be an RV, a car, a van, even a boat. And actually, I found more information on some of the boating forums. Actually, when I go back home, that is where I live. I live on a boat. Not a boat that belongs to me. I wish. Belongs to a friend. Anyways, I pay him rent. Anyway, a very small amount of rent, thank God, because I am on the road a lot, traveling, going places. I love to take pictures, and so I'm out here a lot. But some of the time I'm not. Just anyways. As far as how I do it, I'll go into that later. But for now, I've actually found, back to my original point, I've actually found a lot of information on the boating forums. They offer quite a bit of information as far as addressing. Again, anyone that talks about, RV forums are another good one. But they talk about the mail drops. Those aren't really, I don't think those are, I mean, anyone who wants to try it, you can try it, see what happens. But you get pulled over, you can roll the dice and hope the officer is too stupid to go look at the computer, which he won't be. But that's, you can just roll the dice and see what happens. But again, my personal recommendation is a friend or a family member. But if you don't have that, then you may have to look into other alternative ways to get a permanent address. There are ways around it, but they're not exactly legal, so I can't go into those, and probably wouldn't recommend it because it's not legal. So, but as far as I can't really tell you what to do as far as an address. Like I said, boating forums offer a lot of information. RV forums offer a lot of information, and there's probably a lot of other information out there on other sites that I haven't looked at. Anyway, but just to let you know, if it's unfortunate, I'm sure that there are other people that have encountered this problem, but that have encountered this problem that can probably give a lot more information about it. Anyway, I didn't mean for this video to be quite this long. Anyway, like I said, driver's license fraud, now, in my state, it's a misdemeanor, so not so bad. But it can still carry some jail time. Obtaining property by false pretenses is very serious, and in my state, it's a felony, and it's probably a felony everywhere, and it carries up to 3 years in prison. So I'm not sure I'd want to roll the dice and take my chances on that, because anyway, this is just to let everybody know, and it's a warning that if you're living in your car, your van, and you don't have a permanent address, there's always a possibility that if law enforcement sniffs around, a friend turns you in, or anything, that you could be facing driver's license fraud, obtaining property by false pretense. And this video is not made to like scare or scare anybody, but to make people aware that it is out there, so that if they did use their last address that they no longer reside at and have no intention of going back to, that it's not legal. Anyway, I don't want to make this video any longer, and it's kind of dark out here. It's not the best. Anyway, so I'm just going to close, and I will be back hopefully later, and I will give you a rundown of a little bit more about me, who I am, why I'm here, and a little bit more about my arrangements and what's going on. So hopefully I'll be back later. Bye-bye.